Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed so many aspects of our daily lives, and that includes our sleep schedule. Doctors throughout the country are seeing an increase in people not being able to fall asleep. So we're joined this morning by Dr. Whitney Hardy to dive into what might be keeping you up at night and tips to help you get more sleep. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
I'm sure a lot of people are missing sleep right now because of the uncertainty and the stress, but what are some of the other factors that can affect your sleep?
Yes, those are definitely big factors right now. Some other things could be if you have a very busy work schedule, you may find that it's difficult to shut off or that you're depriving yourself of sleep by just going to bed, later and later. Another factor could be our reliance on technology and electronic devices keeping us awake as well, because it's hard to disconnect from those, no matter how hard we try to do that.
Absolutely. Before we get any deeper, how much sleep do people actually need?
Sure. So it changes as we get older. If you're a young child, 3 to 5 years old, anywhere from 10 to 13 hours. So that's why their naps are so important. But the average adult needs at least 7 hours minimum.
Ooh.
And the busier your schedule is, the harder it is to fit that in.
Yeah, I never get 7. That's crazy. No, I mean, what if you don't get that much? Or what if you break it up between night and naps?
Well, at least breaking it up with naps is better than not getting it at all. But we do know that lack of sleep can lead to increased stress and anxiety and insomnia, which is where, you're having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early in the middle of the night can even cause high blood pressure, which is one of the leading causes of chronic hypertension in this country and, the leading causes of death in adults.
Oh, that's frightening. You did mention electronics. Let's talk a little bit about that. Our phones or TV, a lot of people sleep with them on, or they're on as they're going to sleep. People are reading articles right before bed. But there is something they could utilize called blue light filters. Tell us more about that.
Yes. And some devices are even now being produced with blue light filters, but you can buy them and put them over your phones, put them over your tablets, and they will decrease the amount of exposure you have to blue light, because blue light actually causes your brain to make less melatonin, and melatonin is a hormone that tells us when it's time to go to sleep. So you can reduce that blue light and kind of counteract, that signal in the brain that tells you, okay, it's time to stay awake because I'm hearing the sounds from the TV or seeing the blue light on my phone or computer.
Sure. What are some tips for falling asleep if people do have problems just actually getting to sleep to begin with?
So my favorite tip to talk about with my patients is creating a wind down routine, whether that's listening to soft music, reading a very good book, lighting a candle, just making going to bed something relaxing that you would look forward to doing. Another thing is the disconnect from those electronic devices, saying, okay, it's 30 minutes before bedtime, I'm going to shut this down. And then just relaxing, unwinding. Another thing that you want to do is setting an alarm. So that way you go to bed the same time every day, you wake up the same time every day, even on weekends. And that's kind of retraining your brain that, okay, this is when I wake up, this is when I go to sleep. And that's really important for those of us with those busy schedules. So that way we know when it's time to shut everything off and rest our bodies.
And we only have about 30 seconds left, but what if you find yourself constantly waking up in the middle of the night?
So something you can do in the middle of the night would be just try to relax, stay in bed because you're already asleep. You can listen to an audiobook, try to take some deep breaths, do a breathing exercise, a bedtime meditation, and see if that can help you go back to sleep.
Great advice, Dr. Hardy. Thank you so very much. If you have continued issues with your sleeping, you should see a doctor. We have posted a link to the website where you can find a specialist that can help. It is available on WWLTV.com. Click on links on 4.